The Justin Robert Young program brought to you as always by everybody who supports us at PayJuryDaily.com and by the new Night Attack live show. It's the South by So Wasted Spectacular, March 9th at the North Door in Austin, Texas. Live performances by Night Attack for the first time ever in Texas. Ice Cream Social for the first time ever live on stage. The Modern Rogue. Musical performances by the Possum Posse and Dual Core with special guests that just won't stop being booked. Friends, Romans, countrymen, if you are anywhere in the Texas area on March 9th, you're going to want to come down, and here's how you get there. Go ahead and press pause on this podcast right now. And if you're on iOS, just go ahead and trigger Siri and say podcastlink.com/night attack. Literally those words. Go ahead and try it. I'll wait. Cool. Are you back? Well, hopefully what opened up is a way for you to buy tickets to that show. $18 get you 3 hours of content, and baby, it's going to be special. Go ahead and check it out. podcastlink.com/night attack. Enough talking about how we support the show, though. What do you say we just do the damn thing? Oops. I forgot to close the thing. Congratulations, YouTube. You get the fuck up. I'll be cutting this out. All right, hold on. We're going to start this again. YouTube gets the fuck up. YouTube gets the fuck up. Night Attack. Enough talking about how we support the show, though. What do you say we just do the damn thing? All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Oh, my God, friends. My good God. I thought y'all were going to come strong. I assumed that you guys were going to bring it with this neon sign shit. I was not prepared to the level that you guys brought it with this day one. We're going to go all week. We're going to go till Thursday. We're on day one of neon signs. And I got to say, y'all can be the judge on which is the most neon of all these signs. But we are going to have a goddamn winner here in, the next few days. And there are some strong contenders. We'll get into that in a second. We're also going to get into a woman that is now a hero to everybody. But I want to talk about another hero. I want to pay tribute. Friends, I've been thinking a lot about Dick Ass Man since the last time I talked to you 24 hours ago. I've been thinking a lot about Dick Ass Man. If you're unfamiliar with the work of Dick Ass Man, he used to work at a gas station in Canada, in Regina. Yeah, Dick Assman from Regina. And he became a bit of a meme on The Late Show with David Letterman back during 4 magical weeks in 1995, as I found. Letterman became obsessed with him. He sang songs about him, and eventually Dick Assman came to New York and met David Letterman. And on one hand, it's like, all right, it's really funny to say Dick Assman. That was the funniest part of the bit originally. It's still funny here in the year of our Lord 2019. But isn't it kind of weird? Dick Assman died in 2016. That's 3 years ago now. It will be 3 years ago in 2019. I don't know exactly what day he died, but I never met that man. That man to me is not so much a gas station attendant in Regina. He's a part of my formative years. He's a part of my childhood. He might be one of the only fond memories, one of the few fond memories that I've had about my dad. In fact, I texted my brother yesterday because he was down there with, when me and him would spend time with my dad in the Virgin Islands. My dad was living in St. Thomas. And he, I'm like, hey, do you remember Dick Assman? And my brother's like, no, I have no idea who Dick Assman is, but I do remember Dad, our father, singing the Dick Assman song. Because for me, I remember in my memory, I remember watching that shit by myself, but I guess I was watching it with my dad. And the first time that they'd mentioned Dick Assman, I believe it was Tony Orlando was there to sing Vaya con Dios, Dick Assman. And it was then that I guess my dad used to sing that while we were all screwing around during the day in St. Thomas. So I've been thinking a lot about Dick Assman. I want to take this moment here on the JuRY Show to wish my condolences to the Assmans, any children that Dick might have, anybody who's friends with Dick. Rest in power, King. Rest in power. All right. Dick Assman was a tremendous force, but we have a new hero stalking the landscape. We're going to get to that here in news. How many listeners do I have here in Iowa? I need Iowa listeners. This is going to be a little politics. I know it's not the politics show, but this is going to be a little political, but it's more sociological. So there's this weird thing that happens, and we're in the middle of it right now, where we are roughly a year away from the Iowa caucus. And yet, even now, as we speak, there are senators and presidential hopefuls that are in Iowa, literally today, just in the middle. You're going about, I've been to Des Moines, I've been to Cedar Rapids. These are the big cities in fucking Iowa. And spoiler alert, they ain't that goddamn big. So you are just out and about trying to get your day going, right? And next thing you know, here's a bunch of people with a bunch of cameras and some senator from some state you ain't never given a shit about yammering on and on about God knows what. And every once in a while, a hero will rise, as she did today. This has gone viral. If you're unfamiliar with Kirsten Gillibrand, she is one of the senators from New York State. She is running for president, and she was giving a little talk here at a restaurant in Iowa. And we're having a hard time getting this sound going. There we go. All right, here we go.
I don't think you should back away from the bold ideas that the base and the grassroots care about. Sorry, I'm just trying to get some ranch. Go ahead.
So I don't know if you could hear that, but imagine this: if you are only listening, to this via audio, imagine Kirsten Gillibrand up. She's sitting on on the edge of a booth, like one of those like center of the aisle booths. So not one that's up against the wall, but something that's out there in the center of the floor plan. And she's got her ass up there on the booth, and she's trying to talk to as wide of a group as possible. But apparently, there is something beyond Kirsten that this woman wants. She wants the ranch, son. She wants the ranch. Get this hero her fucking ranch. And it's funny because Kirsten Gillibrand is looking down at her. Let's see if we can go back to here. She is looking down at everybody that is watching her. And at the point that this lady comes up, she like gives her one of those like politicians like looks, right? She like looks at her and then does this little arm on the shoulder, like she's making a personal connection. She is expecting this woman, or at least being prepared for this woman to come up and just pour her heart out to her. See, I bet you she's expecting this woman to come on up and be like, "Oh, Kirsten, I believe in you, and I think you're going to defeat Donald Trump and become the next president of the United States." And she is prepared. Look at her face. Look at her face right before. She is like looking at her. She has her hand on her. She is preparing for this woman to pour her heart out. And what hits her right in the mouth?
And the Grashams care about. Sorry, I'm just trying to get some ranch. Go ahead.
Now, let me tell you this about Iowans, based on my very, very limited time there. They love themselves some goddamn ranch. They got a place called Pizza Ranch, and is where you buy some pizza and you dip it in ranch dressing. That's some shit that happens out there. I don't know what other ranch-related antics these people are getting up to, but I will tell you this. They love it out there, and apparently that woman loved it far more than listening to whatever Kirsten Gillibrand had to say. Okay. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Oh, I think we're ready. Here we go. Emails. All right. I don't think that we need this music. I don't think that we need this music for Neon Signs. Neon Signs deserves its own music. It is its own segment. So you want to know what? Let's go ahead. You want to know what? We're gonna tank this. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna restart it. Here we go. Neon Signs. Again, these are stories of male ineptitude, largely male ineptitude. Every once in a while we get a woman writing in, but this is male ineptitude. Al-Anon writes, for context, I was an orchestral music student when this was happening. When I say music festivals, I mean the kind of festival where a bunch of nerdy college kids play classical music for most of the day. But with that out of the way, I'm driving to a classical music festival, but this is one in the middle of nowhere in Maine. I'm carpooling with a friend that I had made while I went to the same festival last year. When we met, we figured out that she went to school about 30 minutes from me, so we carpooled back. This year, we're catching up because she had spent a semester abroad in France, and she's regaling me with some of her adventures and a couple of her conquests. It's at this point that she says, you know, I've never been with a bearded guy before, though. Again, all my brain can do is think, huh, Cool. I proceed to do nothing with that information despite us sharing a hotel room, and nothing else happened with her for the rest of the 6-week festival or the drive back. That was a base hit. Base hit. But I'm just laying down the foundation. I'm laying down the foundation of what these neon sign stories can be. Johnny writes, when I was in college, I started to get friendly with a girl who was a friend of a classmate of mine. She was really cute, funny, nerdy, and a little bit goth. Really my type. We talk all the time when she wasn't in college and hang out together when we were occasionally sneaking off for the occasional smooch in the common room. Even at this point, it didn't occur to me that she liked me back. Eventually, I worked up the courage to ask her on a date, and she said yes. We settled on the cinema with no real movie in mind. We were just going to wing it. When we got to the cinema, neither of us were interested in any of the movies that were showing. It was at this point that she informed me that nobody was home, that we could just go back to her place and watch a DVD instead. Now, we all know what that really means, don't we? Wink, wink. Apparently not. I said no! What the fuck? I said, while we're here, we might as well watch one of these movies instead of getting on a bus to her house. For me, just having to get one back after. In the end, we wound up watching Funny People, starring Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen, and the date was almost as bad as the movie. It was about a week after that I had my glass shattered moment as I realized what had happened. Contact between us was infrequent after this, and I never saw her again. Anonymous writes, we're ramping up. Anonymous writes, when I was 16, I was in good shape and super about computers. I had the first CD burner in town and thousands of MP3s. This was a novelty at the time. One girl who I liked kept coming over to hang out in my basement/bedroom. I had 2 love seats and 3 overstuffed chairs in my bed. My friends would all come over, and she was always the last to leave. One time I got home, and my dad told me she was in my room listening to music. I go down to my room to find her wearing one of my t-shirts, this hung down to her knees, and no pants. When I asked what happened to her clothes, she said they were soaked by the rain, and she put them in the dryer, also in my room. She sat super close to me while we listened to I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, Crush, and other love songs from the mid to late 90s. She at one point said she was cold and asked if she could get in my bed. I told her if she was cold, her clothes should probably be dry and warm. She proceeded to get dressed behind a divider in the room. Looking confused and hurt, she left. I spoke to her 10 or so years later on Facebook, and she said that my oblivious rejection hurt her self-confidence so badly that she was unable to make a move on a guy for years afterwards. I know I had no idea she was into me, and the image of her in my shirt with them pokies lived in my spank bank for years. All right. Here's what I think this is our champion for the day. Anonymous writes, about 10 years ago, I'm a freshman in college, and I spend the day with a girl I'm really into. She picks a movie to watch at her place, The Notebook. I'm oblivious to any signals at this point, but she tells me later this was a huge sign she was into me. Following the movie, we spend the evening and night sitting on her bed, talking around in circles about this and that. The neon sign moment happens while we're now laying in her bed together, fully clothed, lights off, playing word association. She says one word. I say the first word in my head. I reciprocate. My word is fuck. She says me. I ask her to repeat, and she giggles, then says, fuck me. I managed to say, ha, what? And then I do nothing. I laid in her bed reflecting on what my next word would be, and I say, scuba. With the full expectation that the game is continuing and missing the neon sign completely. Folks, you got to get me these neon sign stories. I know a lot of you were listening to that, and your reaction was, it me. Hit me up, jurydaily@gmail.com, jurydaily@gmail.com. I got to get these all on record. This is my life's work. I am cataloging the awkwardness of humanity on this show. jurydaily@gmail.com. Put neon signs in the subject line. I think we're going to be on. This is going to be the greatest week in the show's history. I want to thank our producers, Bill, Dustin, BioCow, Robert H., Brian C., M., Trey the Melodica Man, Adam, and middle-aged Mike. Again, our email is jurydaily@gmail.com, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat @JustinRYoung, and you can join our Discord, bit.ly/jury Discord. All right. Until tomorrow, this is your old pal, Justin Robert Young, telling you, please give a round of applause to Mr. Wacky. But also, please, don't.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.